Hi, my name's Lee, and I have really not been looking forward to making this. So if you did not know, I used to work for the Game Theorists. I was an editor for their main show, and for a while, I had my own show breakdown over there. Yeah, I was part of that little family, uh, with Matt and Steph and Jason and Goomba and Drake and Ryder and so many other talented editors, including Ronnie Edwards. And if you haven't heard by now, Ronnie passed away on July 4th. And that sucks. Something I really appreciated about being part of the Theorists for my time there was how much of a family it was. Those people are my friends. And for years, once a week, we would all get together and have a call. It was under the guise of keeping up with deadlines and plans and scheduling and talking about future programming. You know, I had this idea for this theory, or Goomba had this idea for the culture shock, or what do you think this would work for a brief history or breakdown? But honestly, what they mostly devolved into was just we were just hanging out, and we that's how we really got to know each other. And Ronnie was so funny. He would always come out and say these like random outlandish things like, "Oh, I was reading some Socrates, and maybe that could impact this." Or he was always giving Matt a hard time. Always, like, we were all very, very self-aware of our work on that channel, and Ronnie was the first of us to kind of keep us all down to earth, even when the channel started exploding with the FNAF stuff. He would always be the first to say, like, "Oh, come on, guys, it's still nothing." Or he would always give Matt a hard time and say, like, "Oh my God, is that the Matt Pat?" Whenever Matt joined the call. Stuff like that. He was a funny, funny dude. Yeah, Matt and Jason called a big team meeting in early July. And I figured I had left at this point. I had joined Normal Boots. And yeah, I figured since I had left, this was probably about news about Matt and Steph's baby. And I knew they had just had it, and they were wanting to, I don't know, have a big group meeting about, like, guys, we have a new addition to the family and all that. And that was partially what the call was about, but they broke the news to us that Ronnie had been found dead in his apartment. And I'm sure Matt has explained this in his video, but we decided to keep that private for the time being until his family had figured something out, or we didn't want to step on any toes. And honestly, we needed time to grieve because this was our friend. That call was one of the first times I think the entire, like, the core members of the old partner shows and the editors, it was one of the first times we'd ever gotten together in this one big call. And man, Ronnie's absence was noticeable, and that call kind of turned into us helping each other through it, but more importantly, it turned into us remembering him and the positive impacts he'd had on all of us, and sharing stories, and you know how it goes. Something Steph said on the call was that one of the things Ronnie had always wanted to do was to make sure that when you saw something that he made, you knew Ronnie Edwards made that. And I look at the body of work that he left behind, and I think he was successful in that. When you saw a video he did, you knew it was him. He had such a unique voice and such a unique style in how he animated things and how he edited stuff. His music choices, he was brilliant. He was such a creative mind, and it's such a tragedy that it's not with us anymore. Something I personally want to address. There are a bunch of rumors floating around about how Ronnie had been fired, and that this is what led up to him tragically taking his own life. About how Matt was ignoring the situation, and listen, it's not true. Matt encouraged all of us to handle this as respectfully as we could, to give the family time to grieve, and to let us kind of take it in on. It still doesn't feel real. It really hurts me to see people thinking that Matt is being so callous about this this loss hurt all of us, and it hurt him a lot. Because we lost a friend. And I get so angry when I see people say that Matt is doing such callous things, or that he hasn't publicly responded to this. When I was there in the call when he broke the news to us and broke down crying because we lost a friend. We had a big call in late June. It was me and Goomba and Ryder and Matt and Jason and Ronnie. Just like old times, and we were just hanging out. And yeah, they were planning the last Culture Shock that was going to go up on the Game Theorists, and we took that moment to kind of look back at where we'd all come from and kind of how this had affected all of us, how the game being part of this theorist family had affected all of us. And Ronnie was so encouraging and so positive, and he was so Ronnie. A regret that I'm going to carry for a long time is that I did not take the multiple opportunities I had to get to know him better. And that sucks. During that last call, someone said, it's not like this is going to be the last conversation we ever have. And it was. For a lot of us and Ronnie, that was the last conversation we ever had. And I'm happy that it was so positive, but I wish there were more. I was in a really dark place for a long time, only recently kind of got out of it. Ronnie was so happy in that last call. And because I have been in this situation where I've put up the facade of being happy when I really wasn't. I understand that. I hope that he knew up until the very end how much we cared, how much I'm going to miss him, how much all of us are going to miss him, and how much of an impact he had on so many lives. On my life, at the very, very least. And I hope he knows how much I care. And how much I wish I could have talked to him. And I wish that wasn't our last conversation. I don't really know what I'm doing, or what I should be saying. I just miss my friend. I just really miss my friend. I'm not equipped to say the right things here, I don't think. I just miss my friend. And I'm sorry, Ronnie. I'm sorry I didn't reach out more. I'm gonna miss our conversations about the stupid indie music I listen to and all the interesting things you've been reading or playing, and I'm gonna miss your references to obscure old RPGs. I'm gonna miss you making me borderline uncomfortable and forcing me to grow. Forcing all of us to grow. I'm just gonna miss you, man. And I hope up until the end that you knew that we were gonna miss you. Love you, man.